I'm here to talk you through your home learning for week 6. Before I get on to that, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's been sending in their emails, their photos and videos of things they've been doing at home. Really great to see everything that you're up to, and a special thank you to all of those children, too many to mention, who helped to create the video for us. It certainly was a little bit emotional watching it, but it was lovely to see all of your smiley faces and lovely to know that you're thinking of us just as much as we're thinking of you at the moment. So thank you very much for that. If there's anybody who hasn't yet sent us something in, it would be really lovely to hear from you over email, videos, pictures, and if you are sending in, please keep doing so. We love to see what you're doing, even if it's something that's not related to the home learning. It's lovely to see what you're getting up to at home. Okay, so your home learning this week. In maths, some of you have already completed this week's White Rose Maths because we put it in the week 4 folder over the Easter holidays because we got a bit excited and put it in a bit early. If you haven't done that, then you can have a little look at that if you'd like to. If you have, then we've put some resources in the maths folder on the drive for multiplication and division this week. That's what we're going to be looking at. Now, we know that everybody learns their maths in different ways. Different people prefer different methods. Some people like to use objects to help them with their maths. Some people like to draw pictures to help them with their maths. And some people like to do their maths in their heads. So what we've done in the maths folder, we've put some reminders of the different ways that you might choose to do your multiplication and your division, some different methods that we tend to use in class. So have a little look there if you can't quite remember how we calculate. Also, please remember that in year 2 we work carefully on our 2s, our 5s and our 10 times table. So if you're still struggling with any of those times tables, they're the ones to focus on. And if you have got those really secure, that's when you can move on to having a little look at some of the others. Okay, your English this week. Your English this week is related to Julia Donaldson's story, The Paper Dolls. We've got a few little challenges for you based around the story of the paper dolls. Now, the first challenge is to write a set of instructions on how to make paper dolls. Now, you might be thinking, I've never made paper dolls, Miss Bates. I don't know how to make dolls. How can I make instructions for them? Well, what I've done is I've created a little tutorial which we've put on the YouTube channel to show you how to make some paper dolls. And you can see that I've got some here that I made. And if you choose to make them, because this is only one of the challenges and you have the option, if you choose to make them and choose to write the instructions, then you need to think whilst you're making them, how did I do it? What order did I do everything in? When you're writing your instructions, what we'd like you to do is to really focus on the adverbials of time to get everything in order. So those are words like firstly, next, then, finally. They'll really help to make your instructions clear and to make sure that they're in the correct order. For example, I might start my instructions by writing, first, I collected all of my equipment to be able to make my paper dolls. Then I folded my paper into 4 sections. Notice how I used the adverbials of time at the beginning. That was to help me know which order I did them in. So that's challenge number 1. You might think, oh, Miss Bates, I don't really want to make paper dolls, and that's fine. If you don't want to make the paper dolls, then challenge number 2 is to create an adventure that your imaginary paper dolls might go on. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want dolls, and that's fine, because your paper dolls could be anything. You could create a football team, you could create an army, you could create aliens and monsters. They could be absolutely anything you want them to be, any characters. But remember, because they're paper dolls, they're going to be smaller than real people or real monsters and real aliens, Miss Bates. So, if they're smaller, that means that when you're writing your adventure, you need to think about how the world might look a little bit different to them. So if you've got a garden, and I don't know about you, but my grass is a little bit long at the moment, because my lawnmower is broken. Then maybe it's almost like they're walking through a jungle in your garden. Or it might be that they have to find something to help them get up the stairs in your house because they're so small. It could be absolutely any adventure you want them to go on. It doesn't have to be based in your house. When you are writing your adventure, I'd really like you to focus on your full stops and capital letters, making sure your sentences are really clear and adding in conjunctions like and, but, so, because, to try and add a little bit of extra information to those different sentences. Now, there are examples of both Challenge 1 and Challenge 2 in the English folder for you on the drive. Linked in with the paper dolls, and I don't want to give away the whole story, but at the end of the story it talks about memories. So linked into that, your spelling challenge is to create an expanded noun phrase poster. Now, expanded noun phrases, we know, are phrases that tell us a little bit more information about nouns. So your expanded noun phrase poster is going to be all about memories. So things that you love or have loved and you might not have anymore. They might be things that are already in your memory, or they might be things that will be in your memory in the future. So I've got a little example here. So, for example, here I've got the fluffy brown bear. My noun is the bear, but it's not just a bear. I've expanded that phrase by describing the bear to describe it as a fluffy brown bear, noticing that I've remembered my comma to separate out my adjectives. I've also put in there some peaceful snowy mountains from when I used to live somewhere different. And then I've got my happy smiling grandpa. Now some of these things, for example the brown bear, I still have that bear, but I've still chosen to put it in my memory poster because I had that bear when I was little, and then now my daughter has the bear now. So it doesn't have to be something that you've gotten rid of, but it's something that's special to you. Okay, so that's our maths, our English and our spelling. Please continue to read with your adults at home. We know that reading is really, really important to help us with all of our English learning. Your geography this week, or your project this week, is going to be all about geography. I would like you, please, to create a weather chart. Now you can see I've started a weather chart here. I didn't have a ruler at home. I don't know if you've all got rulers at home. So I didn't try and draw straight lines. I drew some squiggly lines because that helped me because I didn't have a ruler. And what I've done along the top, you can see I've put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I've put morning and afternoon. And what I've done is in the morning, this is an example, so I have to admit that I didn't actually do this, but I wanted to show you a few different weathers. In the morning, imagine that I went outside and I had a little look, and it was sunny, and it was a little bit cloudy as well. So I've drawn the sun and the cloud in there. And I went out that afternoon, and it was sunny, it was hot, and there were no clouds. So in the morning I chose to draw pictures to fill in my chart, but in the afternoon I choose to write words. At the bottom here I've added a bit more extra information. I've drawn an ice lolly, and that's because it was so sunny that on this imaginary day I had my first ice lolly of 2020. Now you can see on Tuesday I've drawn rain clouds, and I've said it's warm but rainy. So what I've tried to do is try to say what the type, say or write or show what the type of weather is and whether it's hot or cold, but you also might like to add in extra information about things that you've done because of the weather. So here I had an ice cream because of the weather, whereas over here I might have gone for a walk in the park because it was nice and sunny. So this is what I would like you to do for your project this week, is to create a weather chart. Okay. Your spelling we've already talked about. Oh, in PE this week, we've included in the drive an alphabet exercise sheet. Now, for each letter of the alphabet, it shows a different exercise. So it might say A, and it might say next to it 10 sit-ups, B, 5-star jumps, and so on for the whole alphabet. Now, you can use the alphabet chart that we've given you, or you can choose to create your own. It's completely up to you. And your challenge is to try and spell out your name using the letters on the alphabet. So if we were to spell out the word Harrison, we would have to look for the letter H and have a go at whatever the exercise is next to H. So it might say 10 star jumps. So I'd do 10 star jumps. And then I'd look for the letter A, because in Harrison I'd spell H-A. Then I'd look for the letter A, and then I'd do whatever that one told me to do. And I'd keep going until I'd spelt the whole word. Now, you might want to use this to spell out your name, but you also might want to use this to incorporate your PE with learning your spellings this week. It's completely up to you. Okay, I think that's everything from me for now. Remember, there's a tutorial of how to make paper dolls if you are going to be making them. I hope you're all staying safe. Look forward to seeing you again sometime. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.